So a video that I've been wanting to work on for a while now is how some people are so weird on social media. For example, there's this girl that I became friends with through like some mutuals that I had with her, and we exchanged socials on Instagram. Now, I really fucked with her style because she had like a, like pastel Y2K type of style. And she always tends to like post stories of pictures she's taken, her and her like what she's doing on the day, and she has like 5 highlights with each one having like 50 photos in there. She's a dedicated Instagrammist, if that's a word. Now, the reason highlights are there and you put photos on your highlights to show other people things, right? You don't just put things in your highlights for the memory of it, right? You put it there for people to see it and like it. Same with stories, especially with the new like story feature that came out. Well, it's not really new anymore, but that came out a couple months ago. And a lot of people have been utilizing it. They've been using it a lot, right? I use it a lot. I have friends who use it a lot. I have people who like my stories. I have people who I always like their stories because I fuck with their style and the things they post on their stories. What I'm trying to say is, some people are so weird, including this girl. Here's what happened. We exchanged Instagrams, week or two go by. Here and there, sometimes I'll see a photo that she's posted or a highlight that I would have seen from when I first got her Instagram, and I would have gone through it and then I would have liked it. Done. It's not like I'm stalking her, because it's not like I'm going through the highlights multiple times, liking every single one, liking every single story, liking every single old post that she's had, constantly messaging her, being like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? That's stalking. But then when I go through the highlights, I like 1 or 2 of them, and then occasionally she posts something on her story, like a photo of something she's having, or like a photo of a sunset, or like something she's doing, and I like that story. She found that weird. A couple weeks ago, I had a hangout with a few of my friends, the mutuals that I met her through, and they told me that, yeah, she actually restricted you from her profile. And I didn't even realize until they actually said it. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing her stories. And it was because of the fact that she restricted me, which is a thing you can do on Instagram so that people can't actually interact with your posts and they can't interact with your stories, or just can't see your stories in general. Why? Did she tell you why? She said she just found it kind of weird that you were liking her stories and going through her reels, or not reels, highlights. Think about that. How stupid does that sound? Instagram, the place where you're supposed to upload pictures, stories, highlights, and reels for other people to see, interact, and like, she was getting weirded out that I saw and interacted with some of them. I wasn't going through every single post, every single highlight, as I've mentioned. And it's not just her, nothing against her as a person, but it's like, I've known guys as well. Like, oh bro, you're so weird, why are you going through all my old photos? Maybe because when you follow somebody on Instagram, right, and you haven't liked all their photos or posts, right, especially if you're not following too many people, they come up on your recommended, on your For You page. When you're scrolling on Instagram, they come up. Doesn't matter how old the photos are, right? When I follow someone and I'm scrolling on Instagram, their photos from 2 years ago pop up, right? That's not something I choose. That's just how the algorithm on Instagram works, because they're trying to push the posts that you haven't interacted with of the people you follow. That's Jamba. Also, I gotta make a new video on her, because I have not made a video on Jamba, and as you saw, she's gotten big. But, different story. And it's not just her. I've known other guys, just in general. Like people I used to be friends with. Now, they've gone to me in person at school. They've been like, bro, why are you going through my stories? You're so weird. Like, why are you interacting with all this shit? Because that's what Instagram is for. It's a social platform. It's for interacting. It's not a matter of, oh, bro, this guy, I want to see every bit of his life. I want to see all his pictures, all his family, dogs, cats, whatever he has. I want to see it all. That's not the case. If you're uploading something on Instagram, right, it's there for other people to see. And we're going to use my Instagram as an example. Now, for example, here we have my Instagram, right? I have 4 highlights. One of places I've been to, one of my friends, one of myself, and one of Jamba. I have 3 posts, and I occasionally post on my story. For example, the latest one was this one of Jamba I posted last night. And I post notes, I do all this shit. I interact with other people's things, my friends' posts, my friends' stories. Now, for example, let's go to Jambo's thing. I have a bunch, like not as much as some other people. I have some stuff here. It's not loading all as fast, but look, you see? I have all these. When you go on your phone, as some of you may know, when you go on your phone on Instagram and somebody's liked your story or your highlight, you go through it and the little hearts pop up. It doesn't do that on your PC. But every time I go on my phone, almost every single highlight that I have has that heart thing popping up because people actually interact, right? Because that is what Instagram is for. It's for people to interact with, right? To show that they fuck with you, to show that they like the stuff that you make or the stuff that you post. It doesn't have to be like making videos or whatever, like a content creator or anything. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't get why some people are so insecure and take everything so personal, saying, "Oh my god, I don't want to see I don't want this guy to see everything about me." Then don't post everything. Then don't be so oversharing. Don't, TMI, that's a thing. If you think something isn't, something that you want to share on a social platform, don't share it. Simple. Keep your mouth to yourself. Keep these fingers in your pockets, right? And don't post. If you don't want someone to see something, don't post it because it's public. Unless if you have a private account, that's different, right? Only certain people can see it. Then I understand. If you want to post something personal and you're a private account and only certain people follow you, understandable. But public account, everyone can see it. And she had more than 1,000 followers, right? She had more than 1,000 followers. Put that into perspective. Someone that has hundreds of followers, right, posts something and posts it. So that this is why people post usually, to get interaction. So when I interact, right, how am I the weird one out? Because I'm a guy that she barely knows, which, I mean, in a sense, that might make sense. But when you willingly exchange socials with someone, that's the point, because you don't want them to be a stranger. You want to get to know them, right? And that was the case. But she took it as a completely whole different thing, right? And as I said, I'm using it as the main example because that's the most recent thing that's happened to me. I've had smaller cases with, as I said, other guys and girls or whatever, whoever, friends that I've had in the past who I don't talk to anymore, luckily, because that puts into perspective what type of people they are. They're insecure about people, going on their Instagram page and going through it and being like, "Oh, this person's trying to stalk me." Oh. That's not the case. That's not the case. 99% of the time. The other 1% could be like a crazy ex or something. That's a you problem. You gotta figure that out, man. That's not on me. I'm just trying to go through your stories, see what your style is, if I fuck with it, if I don't, I'll unfollow you. Simple. If I don't fuck with your style, if I don't fuck with the things you're posting, I'll unfollow you. It's that simple. Like for me, I only follow my friends and a couple content creators and that's it. I don't need to follow anybody else because I don't use Instagram much. The only times I use it is if I'm making new friends or making new contacts. That's it. But this is just me rambling on. Quick message to everyone. If you're insecure or you think you don't want people to, go through everything that you have, your stories, your posts, your highlights or whatever, and you have a public account, private account, as I said, different, and you have a public account, don't post. Simple. Don't post. Because then people are just going to go through it anyways. If you have a public account, it's there for the seeing. It's not there to just collect dust. It's there to be interacted with. People to reply to, give comments, like, share. Sharing. That's another main feature. Like, that's another thing that people have been weirded out so much by. Like, I've shared one of their posts to another friend of mine that's like, from a different friend group. And they've been like, "Bro, who's this random that like posted on my comment and I saw your mutuals with him?" It's like, what, can I not share your post? Is that... Like, I fuck with the outfit you were wearing. That's why I shared the post. I was like, yo. Look at this guy. He's cool. But then, with the way you're acting, you clearly aren't. Like, can I not share a post that's on a public Instagram page that you've posted for everybody to see? You've done a full camera dump. And I have friends, right? I have from one of my friends groups, I have like a couple friends, or one mainly. He posts so many fit pics, and I always put that shit on my story. He's not insecure about it. He doesn't say, "Bro, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" Every time he's like, "Cheers, man." That's it. That's it. You don't have to be weird about it. Even if you don't want to be friends with someone, be friendly. That's something they taught us in primary school. If you don't want to have contact with someone, have genuine, at least like a little bit of respect, right? If you want someone to take something down or stop doing something, be straight up with them, especially in our age. Like, I'm in year 12, right? Especially, like, she was a couple of years older than me. With her, she shouldn't just go into, like, full restriction, blocked, take measures. Go to my friends and tell them, oh, he's being a creep, he's liking all my stories. Message me and say, hey, what's the deal? What's the deal? What's going on? Why are you liking all my stories? And I'll say, it's there for a fucking reason. It's a feature on the app for a reason, you know? But, my mate, I post all of his outfit pictures that he posts on Instagram on my story because I like to support him. Because that's what friends do, right? When I post him, or any of my other friends, I'm just using him as a main example because he posts the most, right? But when I use him or any other friend to post on my story because I fuck with their outfit, I fuck with their style, or if I post a reel on my story, a big account, right, like a meme account, doesn't come to me and say, oh, bro, why'd you post my fucking meme on your story, bro? That's so weird. Just like the reel and scroll up. They don't do that. It's exposure. Why are you complaining about exposure? If you don't want exposure, turn your account into private. Simple. Don't go ahead, you know, having like a full power trip and blocking and restricting people just because you want to seem almighty. And I'm not saying that's what she was doing, but a bunch of people like doing that. So, yeah. Don't be weird on social media. And if you're a creep, genuinely fuck you. Because, you know, if you're someone, like I mentioned, that goes through every single post for the main reason of trying to find out about a person's life, fuck you, because you're genuinely a creep. But if you're someone that's, you know, scrolling on Instagram and you've just followed a new person and their story, or like a new old post of theirs actually pops up and you like that, you're fine. You're fine. That's not weird, because that's just how the Instagram app works. It recommends posts, old posts even, from the new people you follow because you haven't interacted with it and it's someone you follow. That's how the algorithm works. Whether the account is big or small, private or public, as long as you follow them, it's going to recommend you old photos or videos or whatever. But yeah, that's it. This is just something that has been on my mind for the past month and I really wanted to talk about it. But yeah, thanks for watching. And if you like this video, like it. If you don't, dislike it. Well, if you're neutral on it, just leave a comment saying, I don't know, you can do better. Small YouTube channel, can't really expect much. I'm going to try making more videos. I've been saying that for ages, but school started again. And during the school holidays, I was going to stream and make more videos, but I was in Perth the whole time. I was out of town, you know, doing my own thing. So, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.